Today is a really fun one. When I woke up this morning, I did not think that I would be on the radio, but I was. Triple M, breakfast radio, I was on, and I had the sound bites, and I want to walk you through it. It was hilarious. So I'm driving to work, okay, and they do one of their promos, call in with this or call in with that, and it happened to be about a job that you took on that ended up being way more, than you expected. So it was a bit of a stitch up, whether it was a maid or whatever. So I had, and I don't want to ruin the story for you because I've got the sound bites here and I'm going to play them for you. I had an amazing first job experience. I did a pamphlet drop. And look, I'm just going to play it for you and have a bit of fun with it. But today's episodes, I want to take you on that journey because there's two sound bites here. One where I talk about it, and then when they announce the winner. I didn't realize it was a winner, by the way. So here we go. Here's the first bit. Here's when I called in.
Brett from Newport has called in. Morning, Brett.
Morning, team. How are we?
Morning, Brett.
We're good, mate. When was the job bigger than you thought?
Mate, it's been 25 years ago. My first job, I thought, my mum's like, you got to get a job, got a paper out. It was like a pamphlet drop. And what they do is they load you up with the pamphlets and they load you up with the map. And so we did the map, and it was this giant circle. It probably took us like 10 hours. I would have been 14 at the time. Hills, big hills, whatever. Torture. We got to the end of the 10 hours, and I just looked at my mum like, that was horrible. And we looked at the check. We'd been paid it was like $4.72 or something. Ridiculous.
A check of $4.72.
Then we had all these leftover pamphlets. I'm like, what do we do with all these? And I just look at my mum, and her face had dropped. She's gone, oh, Brett, we didn't just have to do that 10-hour route. We had to do every road in between.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's when you find the nearest bin.
Yeah.
Yep. See you later.
That's what we did. That's what we did.
Shove your $4.72 up, you know what.
Yeah, a little bit of child labour won't hurt anyone, will it?
But I still have that check framed on my wall.
Yeah!
Sale. Stock up and save.
Have you missed that last bit? I still have the check on my wall. So that was fun. That was it. So they basically called me after and said, look, hang up now, and if you've won, you'll get a message. And I thought, win? I didn't know there was a prize. And so I waited a few minutes, and lo and behold, I got a text message saying that I had won, and here's them announcing it on the radio.
Let's get to our favourite caller of the day that scores $250 cash thanks to WorkSync.
Yeah, it has to be Brett from Newport when he called in when the job was bigger than you thought. He had a bit of a nightmare.
My first job, got a paper out, they load you up with the pamphlets, and they load you up with the map. And it was this giant circle. It probably took us like 10 hours. I would have been 14 at the time. Torture. We got to the end of the 10 hours, and I just looked at my mum like, that was horrible. And we looked at the check. We'd been paid it was like $4.72 or something. We had all these leftover pamphlets. I'm like, what do we do with all these? And I just looked at my mum, and her face had dropped. She's gone, oh, Brett, we didn't just have to do that 10-hour route. We had to do every road in between.
That's when you find the nearest bin.
That's what we did.
Right.
Well done.
He had good energy, didn't he,
He
Brett?
did,
He was
liked
on
him a
fire.
lot.
You sort of cut him off, but
Well, Kat cuts him off. Kat had the button. I cut him off, and then Kat, we just give each other a nod. But whatever he's on, let's get our hands on some of that, eh?
Oh,
Whatever
yeah.
Brett's on. You know what he's on? Lockie.
He's on me.
What are
Great.
you on? What are you on,
Excellent.
Lock?
What am I on? I'm on Double Shot Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
It's all I need.
And there you have it. That was my radio debut. Bit of fun this morning. Look, what's my key takeaway? It is essentially my first job ever, and it was horrific. And I literally still have that first check. It was like $4.72 or some ridiculous number that even at that time seemed like child labor, right? So I don't even know how they got that one through. Yes, I was like 13 or something. But look, I used that as a bit of a badge, and I hadn't actually recalled that story for many, many years until they prompted it with that radio. So we had a lot of fun with that. Guys, thanks for listening. That's what it's all about, right? Be open to ideas. This morning, I had no idea I was going to go on the radio, and Bob's your uncle, there I am, and we're on it. You know, when I took that paper out, it was horrible. But you know what? I actually think it stuck with me because I just knew what I did not want out of a job or a life or a career, and it was definitely not pamphlet running. So even if you feel like you're new in recruitment and this is the shittest job you've ever done, whatever. It will either serve you in the future life if you use that energy to propel you towards something that actually lights you up, or it'll show you what real hard work is. So either way, we had a lot of fun. Thanks for listening, guys. That's all we have time for. Like, share, subscribe. It helps us grow. And as Bo says, I've got incredible energy, and that's what this is all about. And what's coming up, as you guys know, next week, or this week, depending on when this thing airs, May 22, Talent X in Sydney. I am booked and locked in for a 15-minute session on the top billers stage. The mindset. I'm going to do a piece on the mindset of $1 million biller. So if you want to see me do essentially an episode live, and it'll be a combination of all the things we've talked about, come along, put the headphones on, have a listen. I want to say hi to as many people as possible. I'm hoping it's going to be a good crowd and good turnout. We're having a lot of fun at the moment, so let's just keep the good times rolling. As always, have an amazing day, and may all your deals come true.